I am genuinely excited for this conversation. I am joined by Australian trailblazer, founder of Boost Juice, co-owner of Retail Zoo, Survivor legend, Shark Tank judge, mentor, author, and possibly one of the most down-to-earth and authentic women you'll ever meet. Janine Allis, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my God, pleasure. That was a very nice introduction.
No, not at all. Now, Janine, you have had an incredibly diverse career range, including nannying France to working on David Bowie's yacht. But I'm curious, what has been your most obscure or unusual job you've ever had?
I don't know. Well, I picked strawberries. That was my very, very first job. I was a strawberry picker. And I think the other one was probably I sold timeshare in the streets in Portugal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was poor. I needed money. Right? I was a poor traveller, and it was like, yeah, you sell. And then so if you got someone to go and have a look at the hotel, then you got, I don't know, $40 or something. Yeah. And then so then I'd have my Aussie T-shirt on because you've got to trust an Aussie, and off I went.
Wow. And where was the strawberry picking? Where'd you do that?
That was near my home when I grew up in Knoxfield. Basically, back in the day, it was basic. I mean, you wouldn't recognise it, but it was dirt roads and there was orchards surrounding everywhere. So,
oh wow, was it one for the basket, one for you?
No, it was actually one for the basket, and I really didn't like my jeans that I was wearing. And I remember specifically that we didn't have much money, so Mum wouldn't buy me a new pair of jeans. So I'd get the strawberries, and I would try and rub the strawberries into my jeans to stain them. And they bloody washed out, damn it.
Oh, damn it.
I know.
You'd think strawberries would stain, right?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Yeah. I probably needed to pick beetroot. That would have done
it. Yeah, that would have done it for sure. Okay, well, what about a job that has shaped you the most? What would you choose for that?
Oh, look, there's no question it'd be Boost. And the reason it shaped me the most is because I had no idea what I was doing. And every single day it was this massive learning curve. You know, so that really did shape me. Probably the only one with probably the one thing with Bowie was that it did give me an insight into others. So, you know, like, you know, you grow up and your mum was massively into movie stars. So I had movie star books all over the house. So for us, it was like there was us normal people, like you and me, Jules, and then there was super people. Right, like David Bowie, Mick Jagger, and the Queen, and all these people were super people, right? So I just assumed that celebrities were special. And when you work on a boat and you spend 24/7 with these people, you know that they're some are nice, some are not nice, some are insecure, some are secure, they're like normal people. And so that was really good for me to see that because it blew up that perspective that anyone is special.
Yeah. And were you a bit starstruck when you first went on there though? Were you like, oh my God, David Bowie?
No, not really. I don't know. I don't know why. I think I just had a job.
Yeah.
And then you sort of see him and you see everyone and you just go, he's just his job. But the one thing that I did have a moment though, he was in the main living area, and he was doing a new band called Tin Machine. And he was warming up his vocals so he could start singing some of the Tin Machine songs. And he was singing Space Oddity, and it was just me and him. And I'm going, oh my God, I have a one-on-one gig with David Bowie. And it was probably, you forget that you don't see him as David Bowie, you see him as David, and he likes his eggs a certain way, right? So that's how you see him. But then when I remember thinking, I was in the galley, because I don't think he deliberately just was playing for me. I was in the galley cleaning up, and I remember going, oh my God, that's Space Oddity. Oh my God, that's David Bowie. Like I knew it was David Bowie, but I didn't think of him as David Bowie.
Yeah. But you look back now and you'd be like, oh man, what an experience. Like that's amazing.
I know. Yeah. And it was, he was a gorgeous, gorgeous human, and, seeing the naughty man that was Mick Jagger and, some of his other friends, it was very funny.
Yeah. Wow. That's so cool. All right. So tell me, what gets you out of bed in the mornings?
Surfing, basically. And that's actually the honest answer. I get up at about 5:15. And then by 6 o'clock I'm on the beach and then looking for a wave. So hence why I've got my hair quickly put up in in a bun because it's still wet. So yes, like even this morning, you go down there. There's a group of the same characters every morning. I walked onto the beach and the sun was just rising over the horizon, and the sky's insane, and the water looked like butter. And you go in with friends, and it's good laugh. And no, it just doesn't get any better.
Yeah, it's so cathartic, isn't it? It's like
it's
calms.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm not a nice. I'm a nicer person because of it.
I get that. There's lots of things I say that about.
Yeah, but no, it is. If you're looking for your highs or feeling amazing, then it's definitely for me. It's definitely getting in the water.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. Now, you started Boost at 32, and that's pretty relatively young. I'm just curious, what was the mindset that not only allowed you to dream big, but then make it into a business that is loved by millions of people around the world?
Naivety. At 32, you don't think you're young, right? And looking back now, you go, oh my God, you're a baby, right? But at 32, you go, okay, right, okay, I've had another child. He's 7 months old. I don't really want to go back and work for the man. And so I wanted to sort of look at what other alternatives were out there. And my husband was very entrepreneurial as well. And probably, actually, I say as well, I don't think I was ever entrepreneurial. I think I just kind of went, yeah, let's do this, right? Yeah. And then, pretty much you just work it out. And I think the fact that I didn't go to uni, the fact that I didn't have people around me to give me a guide, I didn't know if it was hard or easy. I didn't know if it was impossible. And so in actual fact, by not knowing that, you just do it and you'll learn it, and you'll learn quick. And so that's what I did. And then by the time I was, 12 months in, I'd already sold my home and all my money was put into there, and it could not fail. It couldn't. And I was just, basically every day, right, how do I hire someone? Never hired someone before. GST was the year I started Boost, was the year that GST was implemented. Okay, how does that work? So every day you're just like, whoa, okay, let's just get up and go like mad, and then go to bed, and then get up and go like mad and go to bed. Like, you just work it out. And I think naivety, not knowing it wasn't possible, was magic.
Ignorance is bliss.
So bliss. And the reality is we talk ourselves out of things.
Yeah.
We go, it's too hard, right? People go to me, oh, you moved from Victoria to New South Wales and live on a beach. I go, yeah. Why wouldn't you? Oh, that you're so lucky. No, you do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Oh, I have parents here. Go visit them, right? It's only an hour. Like, people put in their heads all of these roadblocks. Yeah. I can't do my business because I haven't got business experience. I can't move to New South Wales because of a million reasons. I can't. And then that gives them comfort. Then they can go into their little cage and go, oh, I would love to, but I can't, right? Yeah. And so I learned that on Survivor. What I thought was quite extraordinary. I certainly wasn't the youngest, and I think I probably was one of the oldest. And yet, in a lot of challenges, I found that there was people who were definitely stronger than me and significantly younger than me that were dropping out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I was stronger than them. Far from it. It was a mindset.
Yeah.
So it was a really interesting one to see that people talk themselves out of or into things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also some people forget they have choices. They forget that actually you don't have to be doing this. You can choose an alternative.
People do think that they do forget they have choices. And they absolutely they do. And they feel like they feel obliged to, right? Oh, I can't possibly do that because of it's all this whole dialogue that's constantly happening.
Yep. Absolutely. And I've heard you say that it's more important to be different than better. Like, can you explain that to me?
Yeah, look, if you sort of say, oh, I have a better dress than that one over there. It's like, what defines better, right? What's better for you is different better for me. Is it a better price? Is it a better material? Is it better? Who knows, right? Yeah. But I'd be better off going, my dress is made of hemp. And my hemp, and it's different to everyone else because it's sustainable. It is, I hand make it. I blah blah blah. So in actual fact, they talk about there's a theory which I subscribe to, that the category of burgers, it's probably the easiest one. So there was McDonald's and Hungry Jack's, and they were competing against the burger pocket. Then you had Grilled and Betty's and other gourmet burgers. So they're still in the burger category, but they're now in a new category called gourmet burger category. So they could go, yeah, we're burgers too, we're better burgers, but then that doesn't tell people anyone. Why are they better? Is there less salt, less sugar? Like, why are you better?
Yep.
Right? So instead they've created another category, which is the gourmet category. And in the gourmet category, there's a few players, right? In the burger category, there's more, right? So and then you can then go in the, you could go in the plant-based burger business, and that's even more narrow. And then you can own that category. So it's like, they talk about marketing warfare. So when you're climbing up the hill and you're going to war, you don't spread your troops to the whole length of the hill. You bring them right in and you go hard and you conquer that part of the hill. And then once you've got that, you then keep going out. So that's, but then people understand that. And, it's just how it is, really.
I kind of feel like that's a strategy that applies to everything. I'm thinking about my kids that play music, and they are great, like really good, probably cover singers though, because they haven't looked into what makes them different. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like in every area you could use that theory.
Well, look at Ed Sheeran, right? He is a male singer.
Yep.
Right? But he has a niche, right? And sure, there's a few people in his, and he's incredibly talented, but he's a niche is I'm a storyteller, and I will tell that story with passion and with feeling, right? So yeah, they do have, I mean, there's people, that's why in music you've got rock, reggae, jazz, pop, it's music. It's all on Spotify. But what type of music do I want to listen to? So I want to listen to meditation music, right? Still music.
And so you think that's a key kind of marketing strategy or business idea as well?
Yeah, there's three things you've got to consider, right? The first and foremost is who's your audience?
Yep.
Right? What category you're in? Are you in the gourmet category? Are you in the cheap category? What category are you in? The second thing is, what's your archetype type? In other words, what is your personality of your? So if you are, so for example, JP Hi-Fi, they're very, very clear. Their personality is cheap. Come in. It's a little bit messy. We're overstocked, but you will get it cheap, right? And, we're cheap. That's what we are. And we are proudly cheap, right? Reject shop, same thing. Come in, you will get it cheap, right? So that's our archetype. Then you've got, say, a Boost Juice Bars, and our archetype is a magician. We'll have a lot of fun, we'll play, but we're also the sage, which is we are healthy, right? But then what you do, once you understand your archetype, you then market towards that. So we're not going to go in and we are cheap, because we're not. We're not cheap. We are the magician, and we are healthy, right? We are quality, right? So that's how, once you understand your archetype, you have to be very, very strict in making sure that is your language. Look at Red Bull, perfect example. Red Bull gives you wings. We are the adventure. We are the adventure ones. If you've got, if you're a Renobi, a drill, right? You are the everyman, right? VB, you are the everyman. And so so once you're at the everyman, well, you're the bloke that's got the beer and the undies are falling out from your jeans, right? That's who you are, right? So understand your archetype and then be true to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Consistent with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Now you've applied yourself in many different areas, as I mentioned a few to start with. What is it that keeps you wanting to do something different?
I don't know what it is. I think it's just how you're built, right? It's just you've got that. I think life is about learning.
Yeah.
I have the curious mind to go, what is next? What makes my life as full as I possibly can?
Yeah.
What direction do I want to take my life in? So I think it's just that. I think I also believe our lives in clumps.
Yeah, right.
You go, all right, you got your primary school, you got your high school, you've got your, oh my God, I left school and I'm in the real world. Then you have your babies, you have your married life. That's a very, very different life. That's sort of like there's life before babies and after babies. And then you have the period where they're grown, right? And then you're in your next era. So I do see it's like a book. It's a chapter book.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that to understand it as a chapter book, you know, what's your next chapter? You know, what I'm loving now is people, you know, my age and above are going, I've been a lawyer all my life, but I want to be a gardener.
Yeah.
Or I've got a girlfriend who's a nurse. She's studying to be a psychologist. I've got a girlfriend who her whole life was dedicated raising her children. She's 58 and just gone to school to be a midwife.
Oh, fantastic.
Like, so there is never this whole thing of, oh, you know, you're 60 years old, you need to retire, or, you know, you go play golf. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know, that's just kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, and on that, I know you've done Survivor twice. I may have seen the posts out of order at some stage, but did I hear that you're going back again?
No.
Oh, okay. So 2, that's it. Okay. And it's really interesting because you kind of answered this before, but I was curious to know, what did Survivor teach you? What other skills did you learn while you're on there?
Yeah, look, if you imagine, right, so you've got the life where you get up, you make breakfast, you have a coffee, you catch up with friends, you go for a walk, you go to work, blah, 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 right? You do that. So when they called me and said, would you do Survivor the first time, I knew I'd say yes. And the reason being is I think life is about living, and life is about experiences, and life's about spikes.
Yeah.
And I thought, how cool would it be to live on an island with a whole lot of people I don't know and no mobile phones, and really test. I mean, I'm very competitive. I've done sport all my life, so I knew I can keep up. I knew I could keep up, right? And at the time I was doing pretty heavy yoga, so my body was in really great shape. And so I went, yep. And I'm very practical. I mean, I planned. So I made sure I went on a keto diet, because I know that keto means you're not hungry, right? I made sure that I got a coach to work on fitness and mindset. I then went there 24 hours before anyone else and found a villager to show me how to make fire and and how to open up a coconut, right? So I, and the amount of hours I spent on what I should wear. Oh my God, seriously. And I was just staggered that people just rocked up and went,
Yeah, right.
I'm here. And you go, oh my God, did you not do that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So for me, I hand on my heart, I want to be as prepared as possible, which is what I do, but it's very much about the experience. And then imagine no mobile phone, sitting in front of the fire, getting to know people, having challenges every day or every second day to see what you're made of. It's pretty extraordinary. I mean, it was pretty horrific, but it was also and the friendships I have from it is actually quite extraordinary.
Yeah. And did you have, there must have been times when you were ready to give up, because that is taking, pushing yourself to the limits. That's pretty extreme. And I guess I'm wondering, did you have any mantras or something that you said to get through that maybe even you apply in life when, things aren't going your way? Is there something you tell yourself to?
No, look, I think you couldn't give up, right? Yeah. You just don't. Right? There was times where I went, please vote me out. Please. I honestly think that they had to edit it, because when they voted me out on my first season, I think that I looked a bit happy. So so I think they had to do a bit of let's find a sad shot from Janine, because I was like, thank God for that. So it is a pretty, I was thrilled I did it. I just actually got off the phone to Pia Miranda, who I met, years ago on Survivor, and we're still close, as close as we were then. We don't sleep together anymore, but
that's right. There is a lot of co-sleeping, keeping warm, isn't there?
Seriously. Actually, to be honest, we do catch up once or twice a year, and we have slept together because we just go, it's normal.
Yeah. Don't think twice about it. Oh, wow. Yeah, I imagine it would be pretty extreme. And I'm not sure physically I'd be as up for it as you are, but I love the preparation. That's impressive. Oh. Now, lots of guests that I've spoken to have credited a mentor as being someone that's, had a big influence in their life or shaped their life. Have you had a mentor, or has that been a big role in your career?
Not really. in fairness, you know, go back to 32-year-old who has 3 little kids at home and just hanging on. There wasn't any time to get out.
Yeah.
I'm sure early investor Jeff Harris, he was a great sounding board, but I think honestly my mentor, and I'm really lucky, and I wouldn't call him my mentor, I'd call him my partner in life, is my husband.
Yeah.
And we are an incredible team. I'm his yin to his yang, and so we do bounce off each other, and often the outcome is always better, the 2 of us compared to 1 of us. So it was so I suppose the mentor as such is probably my partner, but I wouldn't, as I said, he's more of a partner than a mentor, and I believe he'd say the same about me.
But I think it's also pretty cool that I know you are now a mentor for so many people. I mean, that's part of the new business, one of the new businesses you do, but I love that that's something you're sharing now. So you've got that wealth of knowledge and experience. And
look, we sat down and we went, God, there was a amount of people online that was doing business and people looking for help. Yeah. And I just went, these people haven't even done a business, right? Yeah. And I was listening to it going, I just don't agree with what they're saying. So we spent about a year to put together, I really gathered up what I believed made a successful business, and tried and true, like some worked, some didn't work. Yeah. And then from that, we created the Business Academy, which, and look, but the thing is though, yes, you could come and do a 2-day course, right? Yeah. But equally, there is so much out there. On my website, there's free podcasts, there's, books, I've done interviews where you can actually, there's a lot of data out there that you can actually tap into that you don't need to not know anymore.
No, that's true.
And you can find your people and follow them, and so I think that we're in an incredible age of, trying to find those people who are authentic to you and you relate to.
Yeah, and it's almost a little bit like you said before about clumping. We're in that season where if we can bring something and help people, then that feels like the rite of passage or the next stage as well, doesn't it? To try and share that. So
correct.
Now I've heard you use, and I think you created these acronyms, verb and soar. Could you explain those for our listeners?
Yeah, look, for me, this for me was definitely a thing I live by, because it was one of those things that I sort of was thinking about. And I went, okay, verb. Now a verb is a victim. They're entitled, they need to be rescued, and they blame the world for their woes, right? And so and you can hear it in friends, or you can hear it in yourself, right? You can hear it with employees. And when I interview people, I ask questions to try and find out whether they're a verb, right? And verbs create full stops in their life. Verbs will say things like, there's a glass ceiling. Verbs will say, there's an imposter syndrome. Verbs will say, there's tall poppy. Verbs will say, the interest rate rise is killing my business. Verbs will say everything, they'll blame everyone else for their lack of success or lack of happiness, right? I've been in my job for a year, I deserve a pay rise, right? I have a problem, can someone help me solve it, right? They need to be rescued, and they blame, and obviously we know what blame is, right? Everyone blames everyone, right? The other one is soar, right? And it's solutions, ownership, accountability and responsibility. And I say choose to soar, choose to soar, right? Soar above it. And even in the point where you communicate, right? When we want to sort of go hard and go, blame, we go, no, let's communicate and go, actually, let's communicate in a soar capacity. And people who choose to soar are just more successful.
Yeah, right.
Because they get promotions. They work on their business harder because they know that, yes, we can't control interest rate rises or we can't control COVID, but there is always something we can do. So they're the ones that they're the ones successful. They're the ones that go, let's jump into AI heavily because they can help me with my problems, right? So it's the people who soar. And look, that doesn't mean that we can't all be victims, right? And we can't fall into that verb capacity. I mean, we all go have our pity party and go, poor me, right? And that's okay, but just be aware of it. And so, I think the other thing is mindset is, how do you talk to yourself? Do you tell yourself you're fat, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're not big enough? Do you tell yourself that? And then stop it. Like, you know, I read this book called Untethered Soul, which I really resonated with. And it was all about that really busy mind. And that if you sit down and think about it for a second, the mind does not shut up. It will go, oh, look at those shoes. I wonder if they're leather. Oh, look at that person. Gee, I wonder if that colour's right. Oh my God, how's that person? Da, da, da. And it just like, you know, even now I can hear it go, oh, Jules' logo on this, and da, 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 and what's that other piece? Like, shut up, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really sort of being aware of it to then kind of go, okay, let's just, you know, chill your heels, brain.
Yeah.
And just trying to, you know, learn to meditate or learn to just sit and be in that nature or whatever, do yoga or whatever it is, to give yourself a break and to get out of people call it monkey mind, but So that's sort of around the mindset and verb and soul. I think that's a fundamental. I think that's a foundation for people having a good life.
Yeah, absolutely. And in your experience, can you take a verb and make them, or can they become swords?
Yeah, look, I think you can. I mean, as I said, I've had verb moments, right? Totally, right? I think if they're really entrenched as a verb, right, it's difficult. Because I think sometimes people like drama. People like to complain.
Yeah.
People like to, you know, and we know them, we've seen them, we've spoken to them, and they can't get away from that. Their habit is so instilled that you just go, I don't know what it's going to take for you to, because in some respects I think that they enjoy the drama, or they enjoy the thing, the attention they get when they go, poor me, you know. So I don't know. I think I don't think it's like, you know, if people going, oh my God, I recognise myself as a verb. I think if you do recognise yourself as a verb, then you absolutely can change.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Like an alcoholic. First step is I am an alcoholic.
Recognise it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I don't know. I think you take advice at various times from various people. In business, it was probably make every department accountable for their expenses. Don't just have a big pot, which is called expenses. Yeah. Because when people are accountable, then they think twice, because, you know, when the P&L comes out so that was really good. So if you want to drive profitability in your business, make people accountable for their expenses and their income. So probably that. Probably the other piece of advice is, I can't think of any.
That's good advice, especially if you're running a business. That's great advice.
Let's leave it that way. Probably goes back to the verb and saw, but I think quite often I'm a big one of going, if I hear someone talk, I'll go, oh my God, I love those. I'll just pick up those little diamonds I've just thrown out and put in my pocket, right?
Yeah.
And I make them mine. And that's okay. It's not copying. It's just going, what does it resonate, and how does it resonate for me, and how can I deliver it in a positive way to my community? And
absolutely.
So, and that's the whole thing of, you know, podcasts, and, you know, it's like, you know, whoever you sort of resonate with, you know, you go, oh my God, I really like that. I'm going to kind of take it and make it mine.
Yeah, and share it.
And share
great.
It. Yeah.
So I know you've spoken about being a lifelong learner and being very comfortable being vulnerable. Is there anything that makes you uncomfortable still that you do, that you still go, oh, it makes you nervous?
No, it's hard now, because you sort of get to a point where you know, because I make words up, I stuff things up, I'm always stuffing up, right? Yeah. And so I just go, it is what it is, right? I'm sort of at that point where, you know, if someone thinks that I'm this or that, that's their issue, not mine. So it's, I'm sort of, I just know I'm flawed, and that's okay.
It's so liberating though, isn't it? I don't know if you were ever a people pleaser, but to get to a point where you go, okay.
Oh, the amount of times where I feel like obliged to go to an event, and I'm at the event, and I'm dressed up and my hair's done, and I just go, oh my God, and I'm talking about the weather to someone, I'm just going, oh my God. And I just don't do it. Because I'm so obsessed with getting up at 5 o'clock every morning that if there's an event, I mean, I'm a standard joke that my dinner, if we go out for dinner with my girlfriends, it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's me too. I'm like, I've got other priorities.
Yeah. And, you know, I like to be in bed by 8:30 and, you know, I like to be up and I would like to feel good. You know, I stopped drinking, I don't know, about, I probably reduced drinking and then completely stopped about a year ago. Not that I'm a non-drinker, you know, and if there's a champagne, I'll probably have one with a celebration, but I just love it. I just love having the clarity.
Yeah, so you feel better, sleep better?
Oh, everything. It's poison, right?
It is.
Someone actually said, I saw something on Instagram about it actually, and it was a guy, right?
Yeah.
And this really resonated with me. He went, here is a vodka,
Yep.
here is a chicken. I'm going to give this vodka to a chicken to see what his reaction will be. And I was thinking, that's really mean. Why would you do that? That's really bad, right? Anyway, look at your face, right? And he said, and he got the shake and he got it all ready and he was about to pour it into the thing with its grain so the chicken could drink the alcohol. And he stopped and he went, if you're thinking how bad that is to give to a chicken, so if you're saying I wouldn't give alcohol to a chicken and I wouldn't give alcohol to a child or children, why would you drink it yourself?
Oh. Seems so obvious, right?
I know. I kind of went, because I was thinking, you better not give that to the chicken, that's really bad.
It's like animal cruelty, don't do it.
Exactly. And yet we drink it knowing that you wouldn't give it to a chicken.
And apparently I have heard that it's classed as an A1, like class 1 or carcinogenic.
Oh, it is. It is. It's terrible. They did research on I think the safe amount to drink alcohol is 0. Like it's poison. Right?
Yes.
So
I know, but it's part of our culture.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
it is. Like sometimes you're weird. If you go out and you go, oh, do you want a drink? You go, no, can I just have a mineral water or something? They go, oh, you're one of those, are you?
Yeah.
But, you know, and it's really hard being a parent of older kids who just go out and get pissed. You go, oh, and then you go, well, hang on, that was probably me, and I survived, and hopefully the body can recover and repair, and you know.
I'm like you because I've got older kids too, 2 of them now, and the third one's still coming. But I'm like, I look and I think, oh, it's so bad for you. But you're right, we probably did it and survived. But
and also by you saying to them it's bad, all I hear is wow, wow, wow.
in fact, I think sometimes they may have even done that at me. So
Oh yeah, they probably yeah. So I mean, what would we know? Like the other thing I send my kids all the time is AirPods. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm constantly going, here's the research. The way AirPods talks is through your brain. It can't be good, right?
Yeah.
Wear strings.
Yes. I'm laughing because when I send my children stuff, my daughter has openly said to me, I just delete it. I don't even read. I just delete. I
Oh, no. Yeah, but when you see the AirPods in the pocket of the jeans, you just wash them.
It has. I was going to say it's been through the wash and dryer a few times.
And they bloody work still after that.
No, they're like indestructible.
I know. They're like a cockroach.
Oh dear. Okay, in your book, back to questions. In your book, The Accidental Entrepreneur, you share some strategies for business. I know you've already kind of given us a few little gems there, but I was wondering if you could share maybe 1 or 2 others of your secret sauce, your secrets to successful business.
I think the key one is people talk about branding and you've got to remember that you and yourself, you're a brand. Yeah. I'm not talking about, you know, being the front of your brand. I'm talking about the reputation that you have in your business, right? So if you do business with someone, you do it with integrity, right? And if you say what you're going to do what you say, right? So even if that means you've got it wrong, then do everything in your power to rectify it. Right? So people are okay with things going wrong, right? Things go wrong. No one means to, but things go wrong. It's what you do about it. Good businesses are ones that just do a good job. The great businesses are ones that when it goes wrong, that they are really active about it. Yeah. So it is one of those things that you just go, you know, and I always talk about the barbecue test, right? So if I'm going, I'm at the barbecue, I've got my non-alcoholic beer, beer, and I go. Someone said, "Oh, you were doing some work with Jules?" Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've worked with Jules. Actually, I highly recommend it. She returns your call. She's really on it. This stuffed up, and she got onto it like that. Jules is amazing, right? Or, so have you done some business with Jules? Oh, yes. Yeah, she won't return my call. She's just ghosting me. The product was faulty, and she just didn't even bother even saying sorry. I mean, so I think the key thing is, what do you want people to say about you at the barbecue?
Yeah, right. Yep. when you're not there and when no one's listening, or you're not listening, it's not for your benefit. It's okay.
It's like my husband and I often say that it's interesting when people talk about it, they might go, "Oh, how's your husband?" And I go, "Oh my God, he's great." Da, da, da. You really know how you feel about them, because when you verbalise it, you go, "Oh my God, I actually must dig this guy."
Yeah, that's. Do you know what's interesting comes to mind? My husband, fantastic, awesome guy, and my dad is old school, a little misogynistic, a little bit racist, Anyway,
That happens.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I was outside, like just out of the room, and my husband was watching girls' cricket, because he loves it. And my dad was there, and he's like, "Oh, can we change the channel?" And my husband genuinely goes, "No, I really like it. This is the skill level, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, I know it's such a simple thing, but I was like, yes, it's so genuine, and we're not there, and it's something that's, honest and authentic. And I was like, and you could have easily gone along with my dad.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, that's great.
We're so conditioned, right? So, I was grew up in a family, not much money, but very, not being horrible, but they had a very small view of, if I became a secretary, oh my God, that would be amazing. And as soon as I can marry someone and get settled in, then, that's...
You made it.
Yeah, I made it, right?
Yeah.
And then you go, and I also grew up in a time where that, someone pinching your bum, mate, that's a compliment, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, having guys under your desk looking up your skirts, that's funny, right? Yeah. Someone, my boss, West Advertising, would touch me, and I go, "Can you not?" And he'd go, "Just put up with it." Like, that was the era. Like, and people sort of just go, "All right, oh my God, that's outrageous." But like, you got to stop and think, that was when Benny Hill was on.
Yes.
Right? That was when The Box, right? That was when Playboy was there. That was when Cleo had centerfolds. Like, you got to remember, it was an era where it was all acceptable. And that's why in the era of Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, all of those, it was all that it's okay. It's okay, which it's never okay.
Yeah.
We were conditioned to go, "Oh, he pinched my bum, keep walking," right?
Absolutely. Wolf whistle, great.
You'd tell your parents that you saw a flasher in the park, they go, "Oh, just make sure you go with someone," right?
Yes.
Like, that was the era, right? So it's this conditioning. We've got to recondition. We've got to recondition that, women are as skilled at sport as men. We have to recondition that you can actually do whatever you like, because you can't, just don't get stuck up. Like, my oldest son was a bit of a hippie, and a bit of a challenge for because he wasn't the norm. I just assumed that they followed this path.
Yeah.
And they don't. Children are a great teacher.
Yeah.
And so, he taught me acceptance. He taught me tolerance. He taught me humour. He taught me so many things. And
Patience.
he had to smash the conditioning that it has to look like that. My life has to look like that.
Yeah.
I grew up, and I don't think I saw a person of colour until I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
Right. So I just didn't think that they were the same. But then I saw this documentary on skin, on colour, right? And they said, let's understand racism, right? And what I loved about this, it talked about the fact that the difference between me and a black person, right, really dark black person, is our ability to absorb vitamin D.
Yeah, right.
That's it. That is the only difference. And the reason being is that if you're in England and you don't get much sun, you have to be a pale redhead to absorb every little bit of sun to get vitamin D.
Oh, wow.
If you are a African Zulu that is in 40 degrees in the desert, you have to be as black as night, because you get so much sun, you don't want to over
Not too much vitamin D.
too much vitamin D. Right? So in actual fact, all of these things of racism is all about vitamin D absorption. That's it. That's it.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why the problem is when people with coloured skin goes to England, they get brittle bones. And that's why red people, right, go to Africa, they get skin cancer. And we've spent years going, oh, they're this and they're this. And it's like, no, it's about vitamin D absorption. That's it.
That is unbelievable. I love that.
Yeah, I know. That's all it is. That's the only difference. But it goes back to conditioning, right?
Yeah.
It goes back to conditioning.
It's such a simple concept. I love it.
Tell your dad about that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think at 80 he's too old to change?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. He still comes out with a few things, and we've taught the kids to just go, just don't say anything, just don't engage.
Oh my God, my parents were homophobic. And they were going, you shouldn't encourage children because that's how they become gay. It's like, no, that's not how they become gay. They're born that way.
Oh, both mine voted no. No, you cannot have marriage, equal. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, my son said to me once, he goes, I know I'm heterosexual. I said, how do you know that? He goes, because I've tried both ways and I like it that way. I went, okay.
That's fantastic.
Good, at least you know.
That's one way to be sure. I love that. That's
so
terrific.
Apparently, I wouldn't know because I've never gone that way. I've only gone that way. So maybe I am, and I just don't know.
You know what? It's never too late to change.
Never too late. Never too late.
That's right. Be open, Oh, okay. So, we digress, and I love it. Who is one person that, by any definition of success, that you would say is really successful, or has achieved greatness, or whatever it may be? Any definition of success.
See, I don't define success as dollars.
No, it doesn't have to be.
So then it's like, and you don't know behind people's doors.
Yeah, it's true.
To know, because I might go, gee, George Clooney, right? He seems successful, right? Because he's got this intelligent woman with him. He's got the courage to be able to have someone more powerful than him. She's beautiful. He's got money. He has a good sense of humor. He looks like he's successful. Then I look at someone like, a wealthy billionaire whose children are suing them.
Yeah.
And I go, is that success? I don't know. I mean, I know that the only time I truly feel successful is when I've got my kids around me and they want to be there and we're playing, Risk or some sort of game, right?
Oh,
then I go, yeah, I've made it. It's not, how many beds can you sleep in? Financial freedom is awesome, right? But that's what it is. It's freedom to choose. It doesn't make you happy, as you can tell by all the things that are coming out with Epstein and all the things that you see with these so-called rich people. That was probably the other thing when I was on Bowie's boat, because I came from like less than zero money. And seeing all these rich and famous people, I saw then that money didn't make you happy. It just didn't.
Yeah. It's such a delusional thing. Even like social media, though, you look at people and they look like they've got all, because you only see the highlight reels, and it's like, but you just don't know what goes on.
Yeah. I mean, look, I look at myself and I go, I'm successful, not because of Boost, not because of anything else, other than the fact that 30 years I still dig my husband more than I have 30 years ago. In actual fact, I barely met him. I barely knew him when we got married. So lucky. I think we were married in 8 months. I barely knew him. So lucky that we got
that turned out.
Yeah. I've got 4 adorable kids. Like, they're great kids, so different. So that's my success. So
and your health.
And I'm healthy, right? And but I work at my health, right? So people like fast cars. I like health gadgets. Whether it's a red light bed or a sauna or so. Yeah, so I take the fact that this vehicle that I call myself is I need to respect it and I need to do the right thing by it. And by doing that, I love my body, not because I've got knobbly knees and I've got all that, not because it looks great, is because it allows me to get in the water every day. It allows me to play pickleball. It allows me to walk up hills. So I truly feel successful for those reasons.
I would love it if you would share your health routine. Like, what are your gadgets? What do you do? What's your routine like?
I've got, so routine is get in the ocean, have a surf, come back, sauna, jump in the pool. Then I do a red light bed.
Nice.
And then I've just got a new toy and it's called a hydrobaric chamber.
Oh, is that the oxygen?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's my latest toy.
My last guest had one too, Matt Nunn.
Oh, there you go. Yes. So you got to do, which is the hardest thing, you got to do 60 days in 90 to get, apparently that's what the research is on. So I don't mind, like I take my laptop in, and I'm lucky we're not in there now doing it really. But yeah, I take my laptop in and just work for a couple of hours, and I love it. I know that my husband had a few blood tests done, and he's before and after all crazy. So yeah, so I take my health, like I take supplements. I'm a really early adopter onto anything. You know, David Sinclair, I'm waiting for his pill to come out. You know, so yeah, so very much an early adopter.
And obviously, foods. Are there any non-negotiables?
I try not to have processed food.
Yeah.
I try to, I'm not manic. Like I'm not like it has to be organic, has to be this, has to be that. But yeah, no, I have a really big smoothie in the morning, which fills me up. And in the smoothie is like half a cup of olive oil, chia seeds, strawberries, protein powder, resveratrol, creatine. You know, everything I can chuck in the smoothie, I just chuck in. Yeah. And so I do that, and that kind of keeps me full until dinner nearly.
Yes, yeah. It's almost the old keto with the high fat and things as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, and lots of olive oil. Like because I'm very impatient, and because with all the babies I've had 4, at the end of the pregnancy I was over it, I was done. So I'd also take castor oil to try and bring the baby on. And it worked, but it was disgusting. So I'm not a fan of just taking olive oil like that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so funny. I did hear about that. I remember at the time with my third, I was like, oh, what do I do here? But I didn't quite get there. So
I was like, I'm done. Out.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, lastly, is there anything we haven't covered that you would like to share with anyone, with us?
No, I think probably the fundamental one, that if you take nothing else out of this conversation, it's actually getting your foundations right with how you talk to yourself, and just check in how you talk to yourself. Check if what you're saying is a verb, or check that and check whether you're choosing to soar. I think that was probably my big pivot into the life I have, is because I'm accountable for my whole life. So probably that. But other than that, just have fun.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's such great advice. It's all starts with your thinking, and I'm a full believer of that as well. So Thank you so much, Janine. It's just been such a pleasure.
Oh no, my pleasure.
It's really lovely to talk to you. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye.